Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make these videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you would like to know more about any of my patterns, please check in the description below, and there you will find a link to my Ravelry page, which you can click on and go and browse the patterns that I have available for you to purchase as digital PDFs, which will enable you to knit them yourselves, which is super exciting. And I'd love to hear about it. If you have or are planning on knitting one of my patterns, you can chat with me in the comments below about it, or you can come on over to my new Facebook group. All of the links are in there in the description below, and in the Facebook group it's closed, so we can share pictures and talk, as privately as you can on the internet. Today is the first vlog of March. I can't even believe it's already March. I was just putting together my newsletter and I got it set up and ready to go, and I'm just like, how can it be March already? And speaking of, if you have not subscribed to my newsletter, you might want to consider doing it. There's a link in the description below, and one of the cool things about my newsletter is I have started this year putting exclusive discounts in there. So when I release a new pattern, I send out an email and it might have a little something in it for you. So you might want to consider that. It's just a little enticement, but it's a lot of the stuff I talk about here. But if you like to read and see pretty pictures, I would really like to have you. Now, I actually wrote down in my planner majigger what I need to talk about today. Completely irrelevant. I just went to the eye doctor and got my eyes checked out, and I'm gonna get bifocals, which I'm like, really, bifocals? But it's just, I've been having a hard time working close up because, when I knit, I take off my glasses and it's just gotten to the point, and the embroidery has really, really pushed the issue. So I'm getting bifocals, I'm getting new glasses. So you guys can look forward to, in the next couple weeks, seeing some new glasses on me. And you should be super duper happy that this is a video and you're not like in person, because I stopped on the way home and ate something super garlicky. So my breath, it is very, very odoriferous. So what do I want to talk about? Top right now on my mind is my book is officially going to be released on March 31st. So it's been postponed and it's been delayed. It was originally going to be published in fall of 2016, and then it got pushed back and it was going to come out in February, and then they told me March 1st, and now we're at March 31st, but this is it. It's the real deal. And I'm super terrified about it, but also excited, and you can look forward to, in the coming month, you're probably going to see an uptick in videos in a certain segment of the month, because I will start uploading all of the new patterns, 1 or 2 a day, to Ravelry over the course of about 2 weeks. And I'm going to shoot for having videos to accompany those release pattern tour videos, but it's going to be like 17 videos, 20 videos. It's a lot of videos, so I'm gonna do my best. It will probably be videos almost like the gift extravaganza in December was. Another thing I wanted to mention is, if you are in the Atlanta-ish area, like South Carolina, whatever, I will be, for the very first time, doing a book signing. And I've been practicing my signature, which feels ridiculous. And it's funny because my 10-year-old son found a piece of paper and he brought it down and he confronted me with it. He's like, "Mom, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm practicing signing my name so it'll look nice if somebody wants me to sign their book." So I will be doing a book signing on March 25th at Yarn Rhapsody in Gainesville, Georgia. There's a Gainesville, Florida. I didn't say Florida. I said Georgia. Gainesville, Georgia. It's a little bit north of Atlanta. It's a beautiful store. And the owner, Claudia, is fantastic. So if you're in the area, I would love for you to come. I will have like a trunk show situation going on where you'll be able to actually see the knitted pieces in person. So it is going to be a lot of fun. I will link to the information in the description below with a link to Yarn Rhapsody, and so you can check it out. So I've got that. The socks got done. You might have noticed there were two different videos. No, one video. One video, yes. I did a video that was showing people how to do the afterthought heel, but look, the socks are done. Woohoo! They got released. It took a little while, and as you know, hey, looky. All it needs is googly eyes. But the socks are done. They're called the Sandpiper socks, and they are available on Ravelry right now. Thank you so much to the Fiber Seed, Lindsay, for making such absolutely beautiful yarn. And just in case I didn't make it completely clear, even though they measure well, these are striped. You have to have two skeins of yarn. You have one skein that's crazy variegation and one skein that's solid. The solid is this color, and all the other colors, they're the variegation. I had someone who didn't quite understand that these were two different, and they thought it was all one variegated skein, and it's not. But I really would be curious to see what it would do if you only used one variegated skein. I bet it would look really cool, but it wouldn't look this organized, I think. The solid gives a background for the variegation and kind of controls it, and I think it'd be a little wild all variegated. But hey, if you do it, let me know. I'd love to see pictures. Also, something you would have seen, I know I talked about the afterthought video. There was also the magic loop video I did, which I want to really thank Marilyn for suggesting it. I got it done and I was pretty pleased with it. And you know what? I need to get out, hang on. Guys, I'm sure are used to seeing my pink notebook. It's kind of like having a black, you know, the black books that they always talk about, the address books where you get put all the hookups in your life. Well, this is my pink book, and it is where I put ideas and what we need to do. And I have in here a list of videos to do. Oh, and you know what? I didn't check it off. So I'm going to get my little multi-pen. I never thought I needed a multi-pen, but now I use it and I write in black if I'm working on something for work, and blue is for family, and red is for oh crap. So that's how I do that. But look, so it had a magic loop demo requested by Marilyn. I get to check that off. Woohoo, we're checked it off. And I have, somebody had requested, and I need to go back and find out who did this because I didn't start writing that down until later. Someone has requested how to put a lifeline on lace, and I had an idea of patterns for hand spun. A request from Eileen about talking about ball winders, and I've just got to do more research on that. And again, Marilyn, you got the ideas. I'm loving you. Matching cast on and bind off. So I've got those. If anybody else has anything that they'd like to see, please let me know in the description. I mean, in the comments, because you can't write in the description because I'm silly. I write it down and I'm keeping track, and I want to try to get to everything. And I've made a list of all the patterns that I have to do pattern tours for and all kinds of stuff. Oh, you know what other list I have? I don't know. I'd love to hear. Did you guys see the Fave 5 video I did on variegated yarn? I thought that was a lot of fun, and I have a bunch of ideas for Fave 5 top 5 lists, but any suggestions from you, what you would like to see me top 5? I will get on it. We already had some requests for shawls, but I think they wanted to see more than 5 shawls. We'll work on that. Why did I start talking about? Oh, magic loop. I'm easily distracted. Have you noticed? The magic loop video featured in the magic loop video, I didn't really talk about it. This is the project I am working on this month, and I'm going to do my best to get it released. You might remember a couple vlogs ago when I got the Dos Tierras. This is a 50 from Malabrigo. It's a 50-50. They're Uruguayan Murillo and baby alpaca from Peru. It's so soft. And I decided it needed to be something close to the neck. So I am working on the cowl, and I decided to do a fairly simple mosaic pattern because it's just relaxing for me. I'm knitting these on a 6, I believe. Yes, a 6. And you can see how it's working on the mosaic, but mosaic tends to pull things in, and it's a bit, you could even work it tighter. So what I ended up doing is the ribbing is actually worked on a smaller needle to keep it neat. And you can really see at the top here how badly it needs to have the ribbing because, stockinette tends to curl already. If you work mosaic in a garter, it lays relatively flat, but the pulling of the slip stitches really exacerbates the tendency of stockinette to curl. I know that it hasn't been any time for you, it's just popping right into it, but I actually had a little bit of a problem in that I had some poor time planning skills and I had to stop recording fairly quickly to run and get my son from school. So I'm back, even though you didn't know I was gone, and I'm going to pick up. I was talking about the cowl and a couple last things I wanted to mention. So this, I've done about 1.5 repeats, and my plan is, and according to my math, I'm going to get 4 repeats and then the top ribbing, which is super important. And so it's going to be a nice tall cowl. It's going to be big and squishy and soft and awesome. Oh, I'm going to love it so much. So that is the cowl. I hope some of you are thinking that this might be a fun thing to knit, and watch for it coming out sometimes toward the ends of March. The hardest thing, frankly, is getting the photography done. I've got to find a model and I've got to get the pictures taken, and the weather has to cooperate. Believe it or not, that's one of the biggest sticking points, but watch for this. And actually, do you guys prefer the modeled pictures? I always try to do the modeled pictures, but if I did non-modeled pictures just on my thing, I just don't think there's good. I think modeled is best. So luckily, I wrote down what I was doing in my planner, so since I can still come back and figure things out. So I wanted, after the cowl, to talk about the knit along. It's going great. We're in our 4th week. And the reason why I know it's the 4th week is because today, well, I'm recording this on Wednesday, March 1st, is the 2nd mile marker. Now, what the 2nd mile marker means is I have discovered that with a 3-month-long knit along, while it's a great time because a lot of people need that long to finish a big shawl like Earthbound Misfit, it's sometimes hard to keep motivated throughout the time. So I came up with this idea of breaking it up into 2-week chunks. And if you post a picture during that 2-week chunks of your progress, and you know what, your progress can be 1 row. Just as long as you're thinking about it and you're working on it, you post that picture, and then everyone who posts a picture in that 2-week window gets entered into a random number generation drawing, and you can win a free pattern. One of my independently published patterns from my Ravelry store, and I gift it to you through Ravelry, and there you go. You have a free pattern. So if you've been thinking about knitting either Earthbound Misfit or Bitter Blue, please come on over to Ravelry and join in the knit along. You can find a link in the description below. They have beads, they have gradient, and they have lace. And you know what? Those are 3 of my favorite things. I do want to share something though. If you have been a little on the fence because of the beads, there are 2 people in the knit along who for Earthbound Misfit have decided they're not doing the beads. And instead of doing the gradient then with the solid contrast with beads on it, they're using for the contrast in the lace a variegated yarn, which still gives you a fancy pop, but without the beading, which I think is a really cool idea, and I can't wait to see how they work up. The first person who came up with this idea is to maybe a third of the way through, and it's looking great. So it's wonderful to watch these grow. So even if you don't want to join and actually knit the shawls, come on over and look at the fancy pictures because they're so much fun. And a knit along is like the best way to do this. So that's the other thing I want to talk about. 1 year of stitches. You guys remember I have committed starting January 1st that every single day I am going to do embroidery. And here is my second project. It's almost done. I kind of declared it done on Instagram, but I'm starting to think that this space is just a little too empty. So it needs something. I might be working here today just a little bit more. But I tried some new stuff on this one. One thing was working on the dark ground, which I think looks really cool, but I really feel like I prefer working on white or cream or light colors. So the next hoop is probably going to be in a light color. And I love circles. I don't know why I love circles. I think maybe it has something to do with the completeness of them, because when I'm doing just like a line, it just kind of stops. And how do you start and stop? I like that the circle comes back around into itself, and it's just like you can't tell where you start and stop. So I did these circles. I really like the way I nested them. And I also I learned how to do French knots, which was new for me. And after I finished this circle, I think I've got a pretty good grip on them. And then these, here we go, these random. So this is seed stitch, not to be confused with knitting seed stitch. It's just tiny little stitches that you place randomly. And I used a variegated thread for this. So I thought that was kind of cool. This was really hard for me because I like things in rows and predictable, and trying to really do random is tough for me. So I did that, and then I came up here and did this. So I did random stars, and then I filled in with more random seed stitch, but I was trying to get it to go like have a motion to it. So I think I'm going to work on this whole idea of motion more in the next project. So circles and motion. This obviously not random at all. This is a needle weaving technique where what you do is you do straight lines, and then when you go to put the perpendicular lines on, you weave over under. Ooh. You weave over under and create that weaving. Again, that might be something I need to continue to work on because they keep moving, and I think a lot of people, you have to lock down every intersection to keep everything straight. Who knows, my compulsory need for straightness might kick in here. And then these, I really like these guys. These are called buttonhole wheels, and I think they look super cool. So they're still circles, which, you know, makes me happy, but they also have some texture to them. So this is my newer project, and going to be starting another brand new one. This one's going to be declared done, maybe. And I think the next one I might work on either a little tiny hoop or go back to the big one. But the problem with going back to the big one is I would have to take the first project out of the big hoop because it's still in the big hoop, which means, maybe I should buy a new hoop. If anyone has any tips for where they like to buy their supplies, I know there's one store, Cast on Cottage, here in the area. Maybe I'll go check there. But if anyone has any online sources or places that you like to get like nice hoops. I mean, what is a nice hoop? Anybody know? The other one was plastic, and I thought I'd like the wood better, but I didn't because it slips more. I need to figure this out. But the 1 day of stitch, and I'm proud of myself for this 1 year of stitches that I've been doing because I've done a stitch every single day. And there are a couple days I got home late and I was like, I didn't feel like it, but I did it. So I highly recommend it as like a mindfulness and learning technique. If you're just trying to learn anything, if you decided you want to do maybe color work, you know, do a little bit every day and it helps you. My final so I have I already have April's secret shopper. This wonderful person off Instagram, whose handle is Artistic Lily, contacted me and said, hey, she wanted to be a secret shopper. And I'm so excited because this is like the first like person that I have met via the social media who wanted to do this. So I'm so excited, and I got to show you, it is completely sealed. I haven't opened it up, and it's going to stay sealed until it's time to open it up. The only caveat is I'm supposed to have my March secret shopper showing up, but if it's late, I will have this one as emergency backup, and I'll just swap them. And then when the March one comes in, if the March one comes in, you understand. But I'm excited. So if you think you might be interested in being a secret shopper, comment below, send me an email, jump on my Facebook, anything, and let me know, and we will see if we can work something out, because, secret shopper is my favorite. So that's it. March is going to be an incredibly exciting month. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, click this like button, and if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, and March is going to be video-tastic, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.